So now that you understand how to be physical with the girl, it's time to talk about social awareness, okay? And this is probably the bedrock of what it means to, begin to get results. A guy who is not socially aware is a guy who cannot sleep with a lot of girls, a guy who will not master these fuckboy frame principles. Being socially aware is really important. And what does it mean? So being socially aware is what ties together, it's the glue of your interactions. If you are able to be physical with the girl, if you're able to have decent verbal game, or you have good subcommunication, but you're not socially aware, you're going to be all over the place. You're not going to be able to get consistency because women will not be able to relate to you. They'll see you as a guy that's kind of, maybe I shouldn't even talk to this guy because I don't like the vibe I'm getting from him. Being a guy who is socially aware means that being socially aware is essentially the building block of intent. Being socially aware is the building block of your intentions with a woman, and it's one of the most attractive qualities that you can have as a man, right? Being socially aware, being able to assess a social situation and determine what's the best move you should make is probably one of the most attractive qualities a man can have. And most of the pulls that I've had, most of the same night lays that I've had, even same day lays, have been because I've been socially aware. Like, I've been able to have those because I've been paying attention to what the girl was giving me, right? And in situations where I wasn't socially aware, that's when I suffered the most. But generally, I remember I mentioned in the last video that you don't need to be constantly physical in order to pull a girl. You don't need to be grabbing a girl and tonguing her down to pull her. That you can do that in the fucking bedroom, and then it's even much better, more powerful. The reason why is because of being socially aware. If you're extraordinarily socially aware, and we're going to break that down here, if you're extremely socially aware, you're going to be winning all the time. Okay, so there's 3 principles of interacting with social awareness, and we'll look at these principles and then we'll crack into some really powerful infield demonstrating how you can be socially aware. So there's 3 principles of interacting with social awareness. The first one is empathy, right? What does this mean? The first principle is empathy. It basically means showing the girl that you understand what's happening and assessing the situation. The second one is responsiveness, and it's not the same as reactiveness. There's a difference. Responsiveness is a lot different. And then you have humor, okay? And humor is something that's really powerful, and it's kind of the ultimate reframe, and I'll talk about what all 3 of these mean. So the first one is empathy. What does this mean? Empathy is the ability to assess the situation, to see what's happening, see who's involved, and when things are taking place. You need to understand the situation that you're in if you're going to get success. And I'm not talking about logistics, which some of you may know. We'll get into that later in the next section, but I'm talking about empathy. Empathy as in, I understand the situation that the girl is in right now. I understand what's happening. So I understand, where she's going. I understand how she's moving. I understand how fast she's walking. And I understand who's involved. I know if she's with another friend. I know if she's with a boyfriend. I know if she is feeling a lot of social pressure. I know if she's just chilling out, waiting for someone to come towards her and meet her. Like, I can understand the situation because I am aware. I'm assessing the situation, and then where it's taking place, right? So where the situation's taking place is important. If it's happening during the day, maybe you'd respond a little differently versus if it's happening at night. Maybe if it's happening in a loud bar, you respond differently than it's happening in a club. That's what empathy is. It's placing yourself in a certain situation that the girl is in. Now, the other part of having good empathy is actually putting yourself mentally in her situation. Now, a lot of guys get confused because they're like, Tim, how can you do this quickly? And you'll see the infield. I do it in seconds, it's split second. The reason why is because I've been going out and practicing, meeting girls for 6 years. So it's relatively easy for me. But when you're going and you're interacting with women at night during the day and you're learning this skill, it may not be as simple. You may have to actually practice and put in effort to get this, okay? But it still should be something that you want to move towards. You want to focus on putting yourself in the situation mentally. And one way you can do this is, the biggest way you can do this is learn to think before you act, honestly. Learn to think before you act. Learn to think before you make a move and just act on the girl. You know what I mean? Instead of just jumping in okay, now I have to go in and I have to pull the girl right this second, learn to actually think about what you're doing. Instead of just sitting back and letting the girl, or sitting back and saying, now I have another interaction, let me open really fast. Think about it. Think about the situation and what could be happening. Remember I talked about earlier about warming up and opening with lust, not the need to approach. You don't want to open I have to get another approach in, but if you lust after the girl, if you're like, fuck, she's amazingly beautiful, I could totally pull that girl, and you look at the situation that's involved, you're going to be getting success. Okay, that's the first thing. Empathy, putting yourself in the girl's situation and seeing how it relates to you potentially, or seeing how she relates to the things around her and acting accordingly. Again, we'll get into more detail when we look at the infield. The second thing is responsiveness. So you can't just be empathetic and do nothing about it. You actually have to have responsiveness, and we'll break into what that means. When I say responsiveness, I'm not talking about the traditional pickup artist reactiveness. So reactiveness is when you're like, okay, I can't act the way I want because I have to react to the girl. I have to, be in reaction. It's like the girl looks a certain way, and what do? You're like, oh, sorry, am I offending you here, or am I acting this way? No, but responsiveness is saying the girl is giving me certain emotions, I'm going to respond to them. And there's 3 kinds of emotions you're generally going to get from a girl, 3 kinds. There's negative emotions or negative responses, there's neutral responses, and positive responses. A negative response is something that's like, the girl saying, like, move away, like kind of back away. Like maybe it's a girl that likes you and you get super physical and she's like, okay. And you're not, and in that moment, she's not willing to accept that physicality. So are you able to respond to that and sense it and back off in the moment? What about neutral responses? A neutral response could be the girl not giving you like a clear sign if she wants to or not. How do you respond to that? Generally, when a girl gives me a neutral response, I respond like she's giving me a positive response because I just assume every response is positive until I'm proven otherwise, right? Until the girl's like, clearly backing off and clearly not interested, then I'll instantly back away. And that's what you guys should do, of course. But if the girl's giving you a neutral, maybe it is that she's the kind of girl that you have to just make the move on there because she's not going to do it, okay? What about the positive response? Well, a positive response is, the girl telling you that she's consciously into you. Maybe she's not verbalizing it, but she's sub-communicating that she's into you and she's giving you a positive response back. From there, it's a green light and you just keep moving forward. You keep leading or you keep going for the pull, you keep doing whatever it is. That's kind of, the situation, that's how you handle that situation. But responsiveness is very important. Most guys who think they have empathy, but they're not responding. Like they can tell what's happening in the situation because I'll ask them, I'll be like, did you notice how that girl was looking at you? Did you feel this certain way? Look at her friend standing here. And they're like, yeah, I saw it, but I didn't know what to do. Well, what you do is you have to respond. You have to respond to the emotions and the responses that the girl's giving you. Respond to her emotions, right? This is one of the biggest fuckboy frame principles, being the guy who can be responsive. You don't have to be reactive. Again, the second the girl gives you a little bit of shit, you're like, haha, no, I'm joking. You don't have to do that instantly. But responsiveness is the act of sensing where her emotions are at and giving and reacting and responding accordingly, right? Making smart fucking moves. Okay, the second thing is humor. Well, the third thing, is humor. What you want to focus on is reframing things as funny. Humor is kind of what I call the buffer of social awareness. Like if you can use humor properly, if you can be the guy who knows how to use humor and throw humor in, you're going to be winning. Now, the thing is, you can't always be funny. If you're trying to tell jokes, when I say use humor in social awareness, I don't mean constantly tell jokes. That's not what showing humor is. Like, that's the worst thing ever. When you're constantly telling joke after joke after joke after joke, it's fucking ridiculous, right? What you want to do instead is you want to use humor as a buffer. Use humor as kind of when you sense those slightly negative emotions, I'm fucking with you. Or let's say that you want to meet a girl and her friend is there. Hey, I love you. You seem cool. High fives and then put her arm around you. Humor, right? Lightheartedness. All right, one example of using humor as a buffer is that just kidding, kind of the just joking frame. It's like when you get the negative response, you buffer instead of you really getting a solid no. You never really want to get solid no's when you're doing game. So instead of getting that solid no, instead you're like, I'm just kidding, I'm fucking around with you. And it's not a big deal anymore, right? Or using the power of laughter. A lot of times guys don't know how to do this. They'll kind of be super serious. But you notice in my infield, even though I'm talking in a flat line, my voice is flat line, I'm laughing a lot. I laugh. Like I have a good fucking time. But I'm not laughing for the girl. I'm not laughing like, ha ha ha, everything you say is funny. I'm like, girl, you're like that's ridiculous. It's more like, that's so ridiculous what you said. That's so funny. I can't even take you seriously. In a kind of a joking way, right? I'm using humor as a fucking buffer. I'm using humor as a buffer so that I'm not constantly getting negative feedback from the girl 24/7, so that when I do something that maybe gets a negative response, I can use humor as a buffer. Okay, so we're going to crack into some infield right now that demonstrates how I pull using social awareness and all the fuckboy frame dating principles, all the the internal principles of showing your intent. You're going to see how I did this. So the infield that I'm going to crack into right now was from a night of program that I was running. And I pulled 2 girls together for like a threesome sort of pull. And we're gonna look at how I did that, how I made it happen by following the fuckboy frame principles, and how I was able to, maintain attraction with the girls and lead forward towards the pull. And again, the what happens in this interaction applies to more than just this interaction. There's so many more examples that I could use that where the fuckboy frame principles apply, but I think this is a great one to show. And also in the next infields we go over in the next module, I want you to look at how I apply these same principles of verbal game, of physical game, of social awareness, of sub-communication. Look at how I apply them later on as well. Okay, so the setting for this clip, the setting for this poll that I had is we're doing some street game at the end of program. I had already debriefed with the students, and I kind of, wanted to stay out a little longer and push them into some interactions and see what I could get for myself as well. My boot camp assistant at the time, we had just wrapped up program, and he was kind of pointing out some girls that were coming on the street that we could have interacted with. And there was also a mainstream community boot camp that was being run at the same time. So I kind of had to handle that slight issue as well. But let's look at how social awareness really helped me pull these girls in this moment. Let's crack into it.
No.
Oh,
I don't look at it.
Hey. Yo.
Hi.
Fuck. Where have you been?
Huh?
I said, where have you been?
Where have you been?
I don't know. I was in New York.
What's up, guys? Quick question for you guys. So I'm not from here. Do you know any good after-hour spots? Yeah.
So basically what happens is I see these two girls and I instantly jump in, zero hesitation. Remember we talked about in the verbal game video about how my tonality is, hey, yo, I love you, where have you been? Just jumping right in, super emotionally relevant. And what does this guy do? He comes in and he's like, do you know any after-hour spots? Which is, again, it's just not showing any intent. I just went right in, hey, I love you, where have you been? He goes in, are you showing any after-hour spots? And I instantly ask him, are you with RSD, which in the mainstream community? And he's like, yeah, I am. And I'm like, okay. And just kind of fucking move on. Look at how I demonstrated social awareness. So I opened one girl, and then I noticed that girl was engaging him. So I instantly went to the friend and kind of moved the friend away so that I could get the girl that I had originally opened to follow us. Let's look at how I do it.
Quick question for you guys. So I'm not from here. Do you know any good after-hour spots? Yeah. But good after-hour spots. I'm trying to keep this night going.
What's your name?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Kingdom.
What's your name?
What's it called?
Kingdom.
Kingdom?
They're open till like 4 or something.
Alright, cool.
I have no idea who the fuck
But
it
it's
is.
like real like EDM, like.
What's your friend? Yo, what's your friend's name? What's your friend's name?
What?
Why are you so like intense?
I mean,
Why don't you just be nice?
I actually am nice.
So remember we talked about humor. So I moved the interaction forward, and the guy's kind of out of the interaction now. And I moved the interaction forward. We move a little away from the guy. And the second I talk to the friend, she kind of gives me this challenging response. She's like, negative response. I'm like, who's your friend? And she's kind of just really negative. She's looking at me like, what the fuck? But what I talk about in social awareness, you handle negative responses with humor. So there I put in humor. I'm like, why don't you just be nice? Haha, and I'm smiling, right? Even though I'm still relatively flatlined in my communication, I'm still laughing like, why can't you just be nice, right? Why don't you just be nice? Simple as that. And the girl kind of cracks open, and then she starts to invest. Right? So I'm using social awareness. It's not even conscious. It's more of a way of being, because again, this is, who I am now. So I have these fuckboy principles internalized by going out so much, but the girl engages me on that wavelength. Yo, what's your friend's name? What's your friend's name?
What?
Why are you so like intense?
I mean,
Why don't you just be nice?
I
You remind me of the other girls from New York.
wait,
actually.
do y'all know each other? Yeah, you
I have no idea.
The other girls from what?
New York. I'm from New York.
Wait, do y'all
It's
know
my second night here.
Wait.
So you see what happens, I open her and she's like, again, giving me that negative response, and I'm like, you remind me of the other girls from New York. So I use social awareness and emotional relevance to do that. Emotional relevance in that case was, you remind me of the other girls from New York. And I kind of was a little wordy, sure, some guys will be like, you said don't use the word you remind me of. Sure, I did it in this context, not a big deal. You remind me of the other girls from New York. She's like, what other girls from New York? What girls? Oh, you're from New York? And now I begin to unlock the emotions. Let's see what happens next.
We're from New York.
Really?
Wait. We're from New York.
No, she's
I'm from Upper East Side.
Huh?
Upper East Side.
Bitch!
Can you hug me?
Fancy, are you?
I love you guys.
How old are you?
23.
I'm like, okay, I can hug you.
Okay, you gotta hug.
I'm
You're
gonna
from
adopt
New
her.
York? Wait, hold on. I've always wanted to move to New York.
So you see how I'm already establishing physicality. Like the second I got in the interaction, I'm establishing physicality. Just like, bam, right off the beginning. And now again, I did it earlier when I first opened. I said, where have you been? And now I'm doing it here when I'm like, when I'm saying I'm from New York. I'm hugging the girls. I'm like, I love you. And I said really quickly, I'm going to adopt you. And she kind of falls into that frame even more. Right? That's what you want to be doing. And that's social awareness. I'm talking to both girls. I'm not just focusing on one and ignoring the other. And actually, the black chick was the one that I wanted to pull. Ended up pulling both, but let's get in and see what happens next.
Okay, I can hug you.
Okay, you gotta hug.
I'm
You're
gonna
from
adopt
New
her.
York? Wait, hold on. I've always wanted to move to New York.
New York.
Do you guys want to walk? I'm a YouTuber. I make YouTube
Why do you
videos,
have a-
so I was shooting all day.
Okay, so you're videotaping me right now?
No.
Okay.
So basically, like, do you have a mic on? And I'm just like, no. I mean, I have a mic on. I'm like, no, I'm not shooting you. It's like, so this was interesting because in this moment I could have been like, yes, I'm shooting, or I could have been like, no. Usually, because I'm fucking filming in Phil, I just decided, fuck it, I'm just not gonna go with it, And my answer is just simple, just no. That's it, and moved on. right? Again, kind of the fuck boyfriend principle of cutting the thread, moving on, not focusing too much on one topic. It applied here. And it's not even, again, every one of these principles you're not going to consciously remember when you're out, but it just is something that you want to internalize. I should know. That would be funny.
No, we already made out.
Do you guys want to walk?
We made out on some camera.
On some camera, like.
Was it Jack Manley?
It's
Was it like a white kid?
Yeah,
Yes. You too.
Yo, I'm actually probably walking this way. Do you guys want to come? So what's your name? So you notice how another guy comes in, another black guy comes in and starts kind of talking to the friend. It's the exact opposite thing what happens. So now I start walking forward with my girl, the one that I originally opened, and I start walking forward with her so I can make that happen, right? You see how it's like, it's a constant back and forth. This is being socially aware. It's like if one's not there, get the other one. And I'm paying attention to the situation. I see the guy there, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm not gonna freak out. I have to have both girls now. I'm like, nope, bounce to the other one, okay? Can I hold your hand and walk with you like I love you?
Sure.
Can I walk your hand, hold with you like I love you? Physicality.
What's your name?
Tim.
Tim?
Yeah.
My hands are so cold right now.
That's pretty annoying. How old are you? What do you do with your life?
I'm 23. I go to Texas State. Studying healthcare administration.
You're like too cute. I hate you so much.
Why?
Because like I don't like the girls that are here. Where's your friend?
Okay.
And you see how I jump in and I'm just being super fucking physical. My arm is around her. I'm like, I hate you so much. No reason. Again, and she's like, why do you hate me? Emotional fucking relevance. Emotional relevance is also part of social awareness, knowing when to do certain things. But I'm literally engaging her on this wavelength of deep, deep emotional relevance. I'm like, I fucking hate you so much. Why do you hate me? Oh my God, more and more of the fucking narrative, right? And so again, being socially aware, I knew that the friend was gonna come if I started walking. I didn't want to deal with the other guy coming in set. So I just was like, come, let's fucking walk. Let's move. Let's make shit happen. I hate you so much.
Why?
Because like I don't like the girls that are here. Where's your friend?
She's right here.
What are you trying to do right now?
Wait, you don't
Okay. I know. I was looking for you. I was like, where's your friend? I was like, where's your friend at?
Wait, you don't like girls who
No,
what?
the girls in Austin.
Why?
The girls because I know him by the way. He's super cool. You notice what I did there as well. My student was coming in, and the girls kind of looked like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Like, why is he coming in? And this is actually at the end of program, so it was kind of just like chilled out. And what I did was I told him I was like, he's super cool. Like he's a cool guy. So that he decided to wing, and I was like, he's cool. Nothing wrong with him. So instantly build comfort, make them feel like everything's gonna be okay. And again, the words of what I'm saying, you notice how it's super flatline. I'm talking about the girls from Austin are annoying and all that stuff. The reason why I'm saying it is that as I'm walking with these girls, I can be building up comfort and getting to know them. So I'm letting my verbals do the work for me. And while I'm walking, I'm also letting the movement do the work for me as well. We're gonna talk later about how to use emotional momentum to kind of pull girls home and take girls home the same day. But again, look at how I'm using social awareness and how I'm being socially aware. I'm paying attention to everyone who's coming in the interaction. I'm paying attention to everyone who could potentially ruin the interaction. I'm looking at how the girls are interacting with each other, and I'm gonna make shit happen. This night was also a little weird because I wasn't gonna pull back to, I didn't have my place to stay. I was staying with my friend, my boot camp assistant. I was staying at his place, and I kind of was like, I was kind of figuring out the dynamic of how do I make this happen? Is he gonna join me? Is he gonna hang out more, do more game with the students? How is this gonna work? So we'll see what happens. No, but the girls in Austin, like, they're all like super standoffish and shit, but you're like actually lovely.
I'm very like nice. Like I think everyone.
You're so nice.
We're all people, you know. It's like
This 24 day for late night after parties.
Oh shit! I'm
Okay, I got you.
back my screen.
How old are you? How old did you say you were?
I'm 23. I just turned 23. What?
Same. I'm a November baby.
Me too. Are you a Scorpio?
Yeah. Are you a Scorpio?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what's your birthday?
November 21st.
Oh, I'm November 10th.
10th. She's November 12th.
Noviembre. Where are we going? I kind of want to get food actually.
Yeah, no. Wait. Elizabeth. I think we're.
Wait, where are you? 2 seconds. Where are you guys going right now? Part of being socially aware, again, is assessing the situation. Remember, you want to ask questions. Knowledge is power. We're going to get more into this in the, the finding out information video in the next section. But knowledge is fucking power. And part of being socially aware is understanding where the girls are coming from. What do they want to do? So I figured out at this point, the girls are kind of like, we're hungry. We just want to get food. We've been partying all day. So I use that as leverage to eventually make a pull happen. Again, finding out information, finding out knowledge. And I was like, come, so she could link arms with me, again, being physical. Constantly just doing all of this at once in the being frame versus the doing frame. You want to be practicing this type of game when you're out.
There's food trucks on their way to the car. Okay. I want Mediterranean food.
Where,
so
2 seconds. Where are you guys going right now?
San
Where the
Jacinto.
old emos was.
No. San Jacinto and 7th. So this is San Jacinto, so...
Yeah, guys trying to like grab an Uber? Or
Oh no, we're that way. We're that way.
are you guys trying to get?
No, we drove here.
Oh, okay.
What
In
about
which
y'all?
case, you probably like I live like me and him like.
Here's
live
my friend
around,
Ash.
like,
She's
around the block.
You live around the block? Wow, that's so
We're
weird.
like, so again, my buddy there who's assisting me on program, we're kind of figuring out how we make this pull happen, or he's gonna pull to his, but I at the time didn't know he wasn't gonna actually come with me. So I kind of stayed silent. I was like, let's see what he does. Let's see how he leads it towards his. But eventually I kind of take back over and then we make more shit happen.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm from Austin.
She was not friendly. Well, now she is, but when I first said hi to her,
No,
she was
she's-
looking at me like,
okay, she's
she was like,
halfway-
nigga, who are you?
No, she's
I
very.
was like, goddamn, yo.
Who is she? She's fine as fuck. That's what
Oh, no, I am.
Damn.
Yes.
Yo, guys,
No, she's like my bodyguard. I love it. I'm like super nice, and she's like the fierce one.
come get food with us.
Where y'all going?
Like right up the block, literally.
I'm about it.
Yeah, come. What's your friend's name again? Do you guys know him? Okay, so you notice what's happening. I'm kind of asking questions about how they know this guy. It's not like, just him coming in the interaction. He's coming in and playing with the girl's hair, and I was like, how do you know him? And actually, he's a gay dude. I knew he was gay, but I was wondering if this is another guy that's kind of I'm gonna have to deal with. Like, am I gonna have to pull all three of them back to the place? So I instantly, the second he comes in, I'm just like, how do you know this guy? What was your friend's name again? Because what I'm gonna do is this is something you can do actually. It's a really cool little trick. If the girl kind of gets distracted, if her friend gets distracted, and you don't remember her name, just ask her, what's your friend's name? And call out the girl's name, and you'll see what happens. And the girl will come over to you. So that's what I did here. And I kind of instantly just handled it. Like, do you guys know this guy? And then I said, let's go get food. Let's make food happen. Are you down to get food? And she was like, yeah, pretty much. And we ended up walking. But again, I'm always at the cause, not the effect. I'm always like, hey, how do you know this person? I'm always finding out information. Remember, assessing the situation, assessing what's happening. That's what I did here. I literally assessed in seconds how this guy knows them. Do they know each other? And of course, I have my wing, Ash, just ready to fucking kill it with me. Do you guys know him?
No.
What's your friend's name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Come get food with us. We're probably going like 5 minutes away. We're gonna walk there. Let's do it. Is 24 this way?
Yeah.
Sick.
This is down the block.
Shall we bounce? There's like you notice what I did? I asked first. I was like, are you down to get food? So I could make sure that my girl was committed to getting it. I made sure that my girl was down. Again, more social awareness. I made sure that my girl was down before actually asking the other girl to get food. I was like, come with us and get food. And my intention was not to get food, it's to fucking get laid. But that could be a means to an end when it comes to bowling. There's like a 24-hour diner that we always just crash at. You said seriously, don't touch your hair?
For her.
Okay, what?
No, but
And you see how now we're walking and now we're talking. Now we're going towards the cabs, going to make the pull happen. But I'm using humor, again, as a buffer to ease the kind of the tension that just happened. They just left this guy kind of was like being the leader. But I was like using humor. You said don't touch your hair. Ha ha ha. Oh my God, that's so funny. Walking and talking and laughing. Using humor as a buffer to minimize any negative reaction that I might get from the friend. Because I felt that the girl, the friend she was with, was the white chick, was kind of like a little, not so much into what was happening. Eventually I found out she really was. But I still had to kind of make shit happen.
Okay, what?
no, but it's annoying as fuck. Like,
Why?
For me.
You guys-
No, as a black man, with my like,
You get a pass.
No, we didn't
Right, I'm able to do
worst
that.
shit together ever.
like, what's the worst shit you've experienced?
Last weekend or on Tuesday.
What did you do on Tuesday? What kind of whore? What kind of whore thing did you do?
No, it's not a whore thing.
It totally was a whore thing.
A guy called her.
Wait, say
and
this.
all my friends.
Hold on, my
and-
Snapchat people would love to hear.
Stop.
So I was like, let me get this on Snapchat. Her telling the story. She was like, no. Again, this girl's kind of anywhere ranging from like neutral to negative. So I still had to constantly kind of use humor and assess what she was doing and just ignore it and kind of move on and not really push the issue too much. Again, the girl gives you negative responses, back off, just keep moving, change the topic, or use humor as a buffer. So yes,
No.
expose her for the world.
It's not exposing her, it's exposing someone else.
Oh, okay, never mind that. That's not fun anymore.
Racism, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
they
pretty
said
awful.
the N-word like with the ER, and I fucking went
Ooh.
off on him
Ooh.
and punched his
That's how you
nose.
break your ankle,
Oh.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Wait, so you live in Austin or you just live
I'm moving here. I'm here from New York. I'm here for 2 weeks. So I'm doing a couple of photo shoots. I teach meditation and I model.
I love that.
But
Wait, do you shoot or you're doing shoots? Like,
girl, I'm going in front of the camera. Okay? You think that? You think
I mean, I should know.
I was nigga what? Nigga what? You think niggas
I don't know, you look
you think that
artsy.
I'm taking pictures?
You look artsy a little bit.
I'm trying to low key be like this nigga's too ugly to be in front of the
No,
camera.
you have like the open shirt.
I know.
I can see it.
No, so I was collaborating with some other YouTubers as well. We're making some videos with them.
Wait, where's the diner you guys go to?
It's called 24. It's like,
Oh, I've been there.
yeah, it's a really nice diner because we're like in that area, so we just go there and grab food and
Elizabeth,
shit.
who the fuck are you calling? Give me your phone. This cannot be trusted with her phone.
Why? So again, look at what happens here. So what happens is we're walking and the girl, her friend starts texting someone. Her friend starts texting, and in New York, whenever a girl's texting someone late at night, like after a party, you know it's usually a promoter who they're going to meet and like fuck or go to his after party. And I didn't want that to happen here. I didn't know that actually wasn't what was happening, but I instantly was like, who is she texting? Because I wanted to know what I was gonna have to deal with. Again, I'm always finding out information. That's one of the #1 rules, like fuck boyfriend principles. Find that information, that's so you're socially aware. If you find out information and ask questions, you're gonna be winning all the time. You don't just let shit happen. You don't just stand around and wait for shit to happen. You make shit happen yourself.
Why?
What did she do?
Oh my fucking god.
Wait, is she calling some like promoter?
I'm done with you. No, you lost your privileges. Wait, this is a red light.
We can cross it. We're not gonna die. Oh no, we can't. No. Yeah. Why'd you back up so far from the street?
Safety first. Oh, I guess. No, you're not to be trusted.
Yo.
Take a pedicab. Also, what do you sell?
Take a what?
Take a pedicab. All three of you guys.
So basically what happened is, it actually turned out to not be an issue. She kind of shut her friend down anyways. And if it was, I would have handled it. I would have handled it because I, again, know what's happening. I'm always at the cause, not the effect. I'm always asking these questions and assessing the situation. But what happens is Ash kind of tells me, he's like, you can pull these girls right now and you can make shit happen. He decided he was going to go out even longer with the students. Program was over at this time. The students had fucking crushed it. But he was kind of like, I'm going to stay longer with the students. We'll stay out more and like scan the streets. It was like probably 10 minutes, 30 minutes left, or 10, 20 minutes left of game anyways. But so I was like, okay, cool. And he kind of gave me some instructions for how I could pull like there's pedicabs and shit. I didn't know about Austin, Texas at that time. Like I've never been there and done games. So he kind of helped guide me through it, which is fucking awesome. Have you guys ever been one of these fucking things?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, you have? Is it
something
fun?
to eat?
We're literally going to get food right now.
Yeah. Do you want to go to 24 Diner?
Let's just fucking do it. I actually want to try it. I've never been in one of those things. It's kind of freaking me out.
Let's call him then.
Yeah, yo, question. Do you take cab? I mean, do you take card?
I can take out to the ATM.
Do you have Venmo?
I do not have Venmo.
PayPal?
No PayPal.
Brother, you gotta get that shit.
Well,
Nah, you're good. It's all good. Yeah, you too. So basically, I'm like, come on, let's use the pedicab because it's the easiest option. Because getting an Uber in this spot is going to be ridiculous because we'd have to walk down a little further and then get the Uber. But I wanted to make it simple and not a big deal because just in the moment, it's a faster pull. You know, usually pulling from the club is going to take 30 fucking minutes sometimes. But, you know, this was like outside at night. I was leading hard. I wanted to make this shit happen in the moment. So I was kind of like, fuck, why didn't you have a Venmo or some shit? And then it gets even funnier because the girl's like, let's go up to him and ask him, we could pay cash. But I have to figure out another solution. I asked him, did he have Venmo? Because I feel like they only take cash. I wanted to ride that because it'll be like 2 minutes if we take one of those things.
Wait, hold
That'd
on,
be super cool.
How much is it?
Do you guys have cash? How much?
Did he say?
Yo, how much is it? We're going like 5 blocks away to 24 Diner? You know the Whole Foods?
yes.
We're going like right near the Whole Foods.
Okay.
How much would that be? Could we do that for like $10?
How many are y'all?
It's just me, her, and her.
We're gonna be some heavy bitches.
I mean,
Nah, they like
it's hard.
they don't even eat.
Y'all ain't that heavy. It's not $10. It's like
How much?
$40.
You said
40?
40?
I'm sorry?
Okay, so you see, we couldn't do the pedicab, so she goes up and she asks as well, and you know, he was like, it's $40 and we're not doing $40 to go like 5 blocks away. So I had to make another decision, and right here I kind of see the cab, and I'm like, shit, let's grab that cab. And then from there on, it's pretty fucking simple. I just lead without questioning myself, and then they pop into the cab and we make it happen. Let's do it.
$10.
Oh, really? Sick. Hey, what's up, man? We're going to 24 Diner.
These are just a few of the words used to play and download best beats for free.
That's okay with that.
Those are so cool.
What did you guys drink? Do you guys use? And then basically there's the pull, you know, we go forward, go in the cab, and that's about it. And cameraman kisses the camera. But you know, that's how you pretty much demonstrate and use social awareness to make pulls happen, right? That's how you use social awareness to make a pull happen. Every situation that you're in with girls, you need to be aware of what's happening. Again, the aspects of social awareness are empathy, responsiveness, humor. Empathy, assess the situation, look at what's happening, make sure that you're never in the dark and think before you act. The second one is responsiveness. So when the girl gives you those negative emotions, remember how in that one, the girl was kind of giving you a little bit of a challenge. I responded with humor, which is the last thing. Using humor as a buffer to make shit happen. While you're walking in with the girl, while you're leading, use humor to kind of take away from the pressure that the girl may be experiencing. Okay, guys, so the next section, we're gonna crack into, the getting results thing. We're gonna talk a little bit more about, how to properly lead, how to problem solve, and what to do when you actually get girls back at home.